I discovered wilderness therapy a little over 24 years ago. Like so many young men at the time, I was 20 years old and I was lacking purpose and I craved something more. I was going through my own struggles of just feeling lost and searching for something. I answered an ad in the paper and found myself out at a field guide training and went out into the deserts of southern Utah, and I joined with other people as we gathered around fires in the desert, shared our hurt, shared our pain. I shared, and what I experienced and what I watched occur was profound. What I felt like I discovered was a magic happening around those fires. The human connection, the experience of traveling through nature and just connecting in these really, really deep, meaningful ways. And I didn't know it at the time, but I know it now. I discovered a purpose. And for the last 24 years, it's been a mission of mine to capture the magic that I discovered around those fires 24 years ago and share it with as many people as possible. And that led to starting Legacy in 2010. Legacy Outdoor Adventures. We wanted to start a place that really captured that magic and brought it to the forefront. And so we started a program specifically for adults. We wanted people coming into this experience, choosing into this experience, and we wanted to combine that with a really strong clinical component. And so what we created was a really unique model where we blended the licensed residential treatment with the power of wilderness therapy, even more adventure therapy. We're incorporating safe, fun, and meaningful adventures each week where these clients are coming together to have a role each week that they play and going out to experience an adventure here in southern Utah. And they go out and do epic things. And they're able to come back each week, process those adventures together as a team, take showers and do all the things that you would do to take care of yourself and reflect on those experiences, and then plan and prepare and go out again on the next one. And it's proven to be profoundly effective. We study it, and the outcomes are profound. Clients are having a really, really meaningful experience here, which invites us to ask the question, why? What is it about this model that's so effective? And I think that for me, it goes back to when I first discovered those fires in the desert, the human connection, the element of challenging oneself and how that builds our own belief and self-efficacy. It's profoundly healing. And now we can see the results. I think in our model, something unique is having these really epic adventures and then being able to come back and discuss them and reflect on them allows us to really internalize these experiences. In order to derive the most meaning from an experience, we've got to have really good setup, intention going into it, and then we've got to have a really good pause at the end to reflect on it. And then that allows us to internalize. We do that weekly, and I think it's proven to be very effective. My passion now is to continue to share that magic, to be a steward of that magic, and part of our goal at Legacy is to look over that magic that wilderness therapy can be and continue to try to shine a light on it and to find new and creative ways to make it more accessible to everyone who could benefit from it. So we've done things like become licensed as an RTC so that we can pre-authorize and bill insurance. We started a nonprofit, which has provided over $6 million in the last 10 years to create more access for people to access this form of treatment. And right now, part of what we're trying to do is just demystify some of the misconceptions around wilderness therapy. The question isn't so much why is wilderness therapy effective? Absolutely is. It's what is the best environment for healing? Is it one in an office where we come in weekly and sit on a couch and share? Or is a better therapeutic environment out on a mountain, out near a river? And we're learning more and more from studies all across the globe that these nature experiences are profoundly healing, right? And it's really intuitive when we think about it, when we think about our own lives and where we have profound experiences. Tapping into these wilderness and combining that therapeutic component makes these experiences more healing that we can derive, and we're seeing that in the results. And now we just need to find ways to share that message in better and more profound ways so that everyone can see what kind of healing can happen out here in the desert. If you're looking or considering a wilderness therapy experience and versus a more traditional setting, one of the things that I would invite people to think about is think about their own healing experiences, their own time in nature. I often will invite people to just close their eyes and imagine a 20-year-old going into a therapy office and sitting on a couch and going through that therapy. Now imagine that same thing, but out by a river or on a mountain bike, and just see how does that connect or how does that feel to envision those two different scenarios and what feels more intuitively profound. It's as simple as that. I mean, we're really taking the therapy simply outside of the office, outside of the couch, and we're replacing those things with nature activities, climbing, sitting by a river, backpacking. We're engaging the mind, the body. So we're really treating the whole person, right? And it's a really active process. Now, one of the analogies I sometimes give is when you go to a physical therapist, right, and you're working on your body, it's a very engaged process, right? You don't just go sit with a physical therapist and they say, hey, yep, it looks like you have knee issues, let's really talk about it at length and here's some stuff where you go. There's some of that, but oftentimes we're really engaging with the person and the body. We're going through exercises with them. And that's part of what we do. We're actually engaging in real-time initiatives and adventures that engage and provide opportunity to work with the mind, the body, all of these things. And so you're bringing more of the person to the forefront and you're working together, collaborative through those things in real time. And I think that's one of the reasons that it tends to be such a profound healing experience. So often people have core identity or beliefs that are really limiting. And one of the things that happens when we get out in these immersive adventures is it invites us to really reflect and opens ourselves up to new perspectives. And one of the things that I've seen happen over the years is people have these profound realizations that can truly be life altering. And I think that that's uniquely a wilderness therapy experience. It is hard to replicate those kind of experiences in more traditional environments. We can really address those things in real time, right? We can make adjustments to the treatment plan. We can also see the progress over time, where we're gaining or where we're missing. And I think that it meets the highest standard for evidence-based treatment, which is great, but I think it also makes the delivery of the treatment that we're doing here more effective. Wilderness therapy is romanticized, and so the wilderness is romanticized, right? And I think that it's easy to have an innate fear or concern around what does this look like to go into the woods or into the wilderness. And the bottom line is going on wilderness expeditions or entering into wilderness therapy is among the safest things you can do. We've been doing outcome studies on safety for 20 years, and wilderness therapy is safer than high school football. In fact, it's safer than tennis, and with the populations we're working with, it's safer than them being in their own home or in public schools. This is a very, very safe intervention, but I understand why it often provokes a little fear. We're going out into the wilderness. Are there bears? What kind of exposure? These things I think they play on some of our innate sort of fear around wilderness. The reality is this is a very safe intervention. Getting outside of our comfort zone and camping under the stars or being in wilderness, and because that's so unique and it plays on some of those concerns, it challenges us in really good ways, right? So there's this concept of perceived risk versus real risk. There is some perception of risk, but we work really hard to limit any actual risk, and the results speak for themselves. It's something that I wish everyone could experience at any level. I wish everyone could take a pause from their life and go spend 90 days in immersive nature. One of my favorite studies is that when we go spend time in nature, it increases our self-love, compassion for ourselves, for others, and for the world. And I've seen that in real time. I've seen people hurting find healing and self-love and care, and I just believe that the world would be a better place if we all spent 90 days in the woods.